9 days before Christmas, and it is freezing cold out here, even though there isn't any snow.
Freezing cold. I do have goosebumps.
It may look like the sun's out, but that's just a mirage. It's not even out. It's like actually blowing 50-mile-an-hour winds. No, it's probably like 50 degrees out here. But we're teaching the Triple Sweetheart.
It's so fun. This one's really good to teach leads for guys and spins for girls. It's a really good one.
And it teaches floor work, a dip, and a lift.
It does.
All three in one.
It's true. Okay, if you'll remember from our original video, the Cuddle Bop, this is one you do off of that, right? So, with your left hand, gents, go ahead and wrap your lady up. Should we do it once for him so they can see what it's like?
Yes.
We'll show you one time.
Okay, this is from the beginning. Spin her in. And then you can just go right back into the Cuddle Bop. And this is like a move. So we've already taught the Cuddle Bop. We've already taught the pretzel. So you know some of those basic moves. So this isn't like the very first move that you should learn, but it's after. It's one of those basic moves, but after you know a little bit on dancing. So we won't go over all those steps again. We'll just go over these the new elements of this.
Right, so the two moves you should go and look at if you haven't yet is the Cuddle Bop 1 and the Safe Dip 2.
Yeah.
Because the Safe Dip will teach you the basics of a dip. If you don't know how to dip yet, wait out on this one because you could fall over. But if you're gutsy, I think you can figure it out just by watching too.
Yeah.
But I recommend with those two first.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you go. Start with your left hand, gents. Wrap your lady up. Tuck her on your right side. Okay.
And you don't want to have her like in front of you, just off to your right hand side.
Hip tip. Because you're going to be able to lead with your body as well as your hands now.
And sometimes it's like a little difficult to watch a tutorial when we're facing you in the video. So let us know like in the comments if it's more helpful if we're backwards. But then you can't really hear us. So it's like, which one do you want?
Right.
So
that's crazy. So you're going to take this left hand. That's the hand that's on top, right?
The guy's left.
You're going to let go of that left hand. And you're going to use your body and this hand to spin her out that direction.
And I just bump her out just like that.
And remember, look at both our arms. We both have room to fill a lead. If I was
you don't want to be fully extended like that. That's bad news bears.
It would be really hard to lead. And a lot of times you slip.
Yeah.
So you want to end caught, right?
So then after that, you can just easily pull her back in.
Yeah.
And so just going over that one more time, I'll kind of just like move my body out. We have the tension. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. Just when he pulls her back in, it was so funny the other day. I was teaching someone and he was telling his wife, spin, spin, spin in. So how you tell her to spin in without using your mouth is your hand right here. If you watch, he's going to kind of pull and pull back at the same time.
So it's just like pull forward and then I go back behind her. So what my arm's doing, and we have some other people practicing over there, they're kind of dropping things. So you don't want to be like that. You want to be smooth like us. You go, so your hand's out here, you pull in and then you go around her. Just like pull in and then go around. And it's not forceful, it should just be really natural. You pull in and you go right around her.
And ladies, when you're coming in, go ahead, spin me out. Take as few steps as possible. So as he's pulling in, do what's natural. It's better to do that.
And maybe you should come this way a little bit so they can see your feet. Yeah.
So as you come in, I want to match up with him. Sometimes we'll fall forward and back. Guys, you can compensate for that because we're spinning so we're dizzy. But take as few steps as possible, like 1, 2, and you're there. Because if you take a lot, you tend to go more places.
Yeah. And then after you pull her in, so let's say that I kick her out first time, I pull her in, the first move you're gonna do is the lean, okay? So you actually want to put your hand like flat out, and you just want to stick it flat, and you just put out your left foot, and you just lean. You bend over and you lean. Okay?
Ladies, yeah. So I've seen some girls like, and it looks kind of funny, like a dog peeing, right? You don't want that as much. Just bend one knee in, and that helps you lean against him. And you're putting a lot of pressure on that inner leg. That's how you're leaning into it. And you have this hand to push off.
Okay.
At the same time.
And then the second one is the lift, okay? So after the lean, you kick her out one more time. You come in and you actually have your hand now like this in cupping shape. So you have your hand, so then she cups her hand over yours, and you just want to get right below her hip and kind of hold on to her, and you can just go like that. And if you're like the girl, you're like, no way I can be lifted, this is super easy. If you're the guy saying, I don't think I can lift her, like I've lifted guys that are like 250 pounds. It's not that hard to just go like that. And if you'd explain your part, it actually makes it a lot easier for the guy if the girl does her part as well.
Right, let me show you if a girl does nothing. Go ahead. Look silly. It actually hurts me, and he feels silly, right? He feels silly. So what's gonna happen? He's gonna.
I don't think I've ever had anybody do that.
He's gonna get down. I've seen worse. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it crazy? Here's when I counterbalance what he does. He's so strong. I've seen some girls not leave the ground. Like I don't know how they do it. Okay, so here's how to do it right. Okay, go ahead, get under. When you feel him get down underneath your hip, stick your hip on his, like you kind of sit on him a little bit, and then you kind of put your elbow on top of your hands, right here, so that it gives you push off, and then you jump up on that hip.
And you don't even have to jump that much. It's just a little jump, and it's easy to pick her up.
And it's more into him than up, so I'm not balling him over, but I'm kind of just pulling myself into him, because you jump to the side, right? And some girls, this is incredible what some girls can do. Some girls can like split it and they'll kick a leg way up. Go ahead, do it with me. Right? Boom. But if you can't do the splits, the secret is bending the inner leg. So you bend the inner leg, and that allows you to kick your other leg super high. Right? Because if I was just going to kick one leg out, I can't go as much, and this leg looks funny. But if I bend it, are you okay to go one more time?
Yeah.
Boom, I can get it way high. So the key with doing the splits in any situation, whether you're on the ground or up, especially if you don't normally do the splits, bend one leg, and then you can kick the other so high. That's how it goes.
That's super good. And basically for the guy, like any lift, you're going to want to have your base set, so you want to have your knees bent, like if you ever played baseball or basketball or football. Or lifted, any of those things. Play chess, like when you play chess, you have to sit down in the chair just like this. Just pretend you're playing chess, but you don't have a chair, and you have that athletic stance. You're ready to go, and you can't get pushed over very easily because you're in that athletic stance. Well, it's the same for doing any lifts, any dips, anything in dancing. It's just like any sport you've ever played. That's why I think I can pick it up really fast. I've tried other kinds of dancing, and I want to learn other kinds of dancing, but they're a lot harder than country dancing because it's just like any other sport that we've all played all growing up. So you just bend your knees, you get down a little bit, and this isn't that hard of a lift, so I just need to bend my knees a little bit, and then I can kick her out. Okay?
Something else that's really important with lifts that you learn in this one really well is timing.
Yeah.
There's a time when he gets down and then he picks up, and you'll learn to feel it, ladies, and there'll be a way, gents, where you can really communicate it well. But that timing, it's why we dance to music. Because if you can hear it coming in the music, where the music pops or there's something cool and you both hit it, it's one of the most magical moments ever. But even just knowing the timing of, okay, this is when I jump, that's also what makes you really light.
So we walked through, we've done, well, let's just start from the beginning, right? Like we're just Cuddle Bopping, going. I wrap her up. I first kick her out. I pull her in. We lean, hands like this. Second step. She jumps and she can kick. The third step is the dip. So I'm going to lead her in, and this time I'm going to let go of my right hand. We're going to let go on this right hand that's below.
It's an even different lead because I'm not here already when you catch me. You have to send me spinning out here. So it's a different lead. This is really good. This is really important because there's two different ways. You can get a girl spinning or you can get her coming to you, and they're different. So I don't know what other guys do, but I actually do the exact same thing. I just let go of you, and I just take a step. Because normally he pulls and then he wraps around, right? So this time he pulls, and as he wraps, he lets go. So then I know to spin. So I do take a step to him, but then I spin here. And ladies, it's important that you let him lead that spin, because otherwise you might be spinning at the wrong time or in the wrong direction. He won't be ready to catch you. So wait until you feel that spin and then spin.
Yeah. And so just like you're just doing the safe dip. So again, if you haven't watched that video, go and watch that video. But you just pull her in, and then you put your hand on her lower back, just like in the safe dip, and you make sure that her hand is up here to catch. But you're just doing the safe dip, and then you just kick her out.
Oh yes. Right hand.
And then you catch her right hand with your left.
Now,
like
lady,
that.
something that tends to happen is they'll come in for this dip and she'll keep her hand there, and then she's not ready to dip, right?
Yeah.
So part of that is making sure you let go. Another part of that is, ladies, I put my hands up in there like this, and I don't put them like this because then you'll elbow them in the face. I just put them straight up, and then they come wrap around, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I really like that. And then to finish it, you have this right hand on her shoulder blade, and it's just like you do any dip. It looks really cool because some guys they'll go in for the dip, and then they'll just go out, which you can do. But I don't think it looks as good as dipping and then taking that hand and just spinning her. You spin her right, well, it'd actually be her left shoulder blade. You spin with your right hand. So it's this hand that's on her shoulder blade. And I just go like this, boom. And I catch with my left. So I'm just, whoa! And when you make that sound too, whoa! You feel empowered. And then you just be like, yes! Okay? Make sense?
Woohoo!
Is that okay? Did we miss anything?
I don't think so, especially if
I
you
think
watch
we
the
nailed
safe
that
dip.
thing.
Yeah, you're set.
So, and like subscribe, keep on watching us. If you have any questions, leave it down below. But yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Dance your hearts out.